Hi, welcome to my lessons I've learned from investing in small cap stocks. Lesson number 4, how to get a good price. I'm just about to go through 3 strategies I use to get a good price when buying shares. Before I do this, I want to point out how important this is. I did a survey recently on Twitter, and I asked people, are you making money on AIM, on the alternative investment market? And half of people said they're not. Half of people are losing money. And someone said, or pointed out, that's quite a conservative figure because many people have just given up and walked away. So they want to respond to that survey. And do you know what? I was looking at this. I was looking at the stats and I was digging through. And AIM, or the alternative investment market, where most small or micro caps exist, it's got a really bad track record for investors, and fortunes have been made, but they've also been mainly lost by the look of it. So it launched in 2015, AIM, all right, and about 3,000 companies have been listed since in that time. Now, 72% of them have never produced a return for investors, and worse still, 1 in 3 AIM companies have resulted in shareholders losing 95% or more of their initial investment. So your question probably is, so why invest on there? It's a casino, it's a lottery. Not really. If you pick the right stocks, you can earn lots of money. And I'll give you an example. The top 10 best performers this year, okay? Number 1 is an 1,100%. That's almost 11 times your money, The 10th best performer, or the worst out of the top 10, has done over 250%. So you can do very well. But you've got to find those stocks. But so if you're making money on AIM, you are in the minority. Hopefully my lessons will help you. They've helped me just write these strategies down. So the difference between making money and losing money is the price you pay. It's as simple as that. And the most famous adage of the stock market is buy low, sell high. But it's not. It is not simple. Because it's all relative, of course. And I always say you can buy a good company at a bad price and lose money. You can buy a bad company at a good price and make money. The combo you want to strike is buying a good company at a good price. So right now, I'm going to look at those 3 strategies I use for achieving a good price. Scaling in. This is one of the most important things I've learned when buying microcap or small cap stocks. Now, you'll find when you first buy some shares, the share price will tend to go down. You think, what's going on here? And you think it's some kind of conspiracy against you, And this has happened to me so many times. And so what I do is I scale in. So I talked about in video 1 risk. And I said I never like to put more than 10% of my entire portfolio value in one stock. I'll just quickly go through that again. So let's say your portfolio is worth £100,000. I know it's a lot of money. Most of you will not have anywhere near that. I'm just using this as round figures. It's easy for percentages. So £100,000 is your entire portfolio value. All right. I take 10% off this because market fluctuates. The value of your investments go up and down. So as a margin of error of safety, I take 10% off that. So £90,000, okay, is what your portfolio is worth now. 10% of that is £9,000. That's, I won't go over that amount on one investment. That's 10%. Now, I won't just put that £9,000 in one go into the stock because, like I say, it's hard to, pick the perfect price. You will never buy, very rarely, I've done it, out of all the investments I've made, a lot. Very rarely have I bought a stock and it's gone up and kept going up. Normally, it'll dip or go up or go down and down. So you can expect the stock price to go down. So what I do is I split that £9,000, that 10% of my portfolio, into 3 chunks. And this is because micro-cap stocks or small caps are quite volatile. Maybe if it's a bigger stock, you may want to consider 2 chunks. But let's use 3 chunks here. So 3 tranches, equal amounts. So 3 £3,000 chunks, all right? I'll do my research, I'll look at the chart and everything, I'll put that initial investment, £3,000, into that stock. If it drops by 10%, the magic 10, I put another 10% in. That's only if the story of that company hasn't changed, okay? If the story is the same, if the initial case or reason I invested in that company is still there, it's still as compelling, I'll put another £3,000 in, okay? Another tranche, another third. And because that means the story's getting better. The stock is getting cheaper, Now, if it drops by 10% again, now very rarely will it drop that much anyway, but just for safety, I'll put that third £3,000 in. All right, that's my entire 9,000 invested. Some people think scaling in or averaging down, it's called averaging down, is very risky. I don't think so. First of all, you've got 10% risk, okay? You're not going to go over that, so that's fine. You're covered off on that. Secondly, it's counterintuitive to buy when the stock market's going down, but everywhere else, every other part of society, if there's a sale on at the shop, people buy. You know, on the stock market, there's a sale on, and inexperienced investors sell. That's not what you should be doing. If a company you valued and looked at and researched and think is very good value goes down in price, it becomes cheaper. That means the upside is greater. That means the risk is less, the reward gets bigger. So you should be scaling in. And that way you'll average down and get a better price. And you can do the math on that, but on averaging down. But literally, you won't be sort of 20 or 30% down. You'll be less than that because you've averaged in. So it's worth always scaling in as long as you've got your maximum exposure set and the company's story hasn't changed. All that's changed is the share price. So, it's a cheaper company, essentially. A bargain is a bargain, whether it's in the local, electrical shop or on the stock market. The same. It's becoming more of a bargain. Buy on a down day. A lot of investors lose money because they see a share price rallying strongly and they're scared of missing it. Fear of missing out, FOMO. They've seen other investors talk about it, say it's going to the moon. It's going to the moon, the stock price, and they just jump in when it's rallied strongly for hours or days. And all of a sudden the share price starts coming down. You've bought at the top of the spike, the worst price of all. Having the patience and discipline to stick to a strategy is the key to making money on the stock market. As a mid to long-term investor, right, you should never buy a stock you've seen after it's rallied strongly. You should never do that. Never. To stop myself doing that, everyone gets the emotional thing of missing out. You don't want to miss out on a good stock, on a good company, and make lots of money. Everyone gets that. To stop myself doing that now, I try my best to only buy a stock I've researched when it's having a down day, when it's going down. I know it's counterintuitive. It's like the previously, scaling in. It's counterintuitive, but it makes sense for several reasons. One, it stops you chasing the price up. You don't know how far it's going to go up. And two, buying when you see red, the stock price in red, is hard. Intuitively, you don't want to do that. It's hard. So you tend to research a bit more and you take a bit more time. You'll have seen lots of companies that spike up, okay, in the share price, and it's gone mad. And sometimes when companies spike up, I'll never buy it, but I'll look into the reasons why it's spiked up, and I bet your bottom dollar it'll come back. The share price will come back. It always does, pretty much. You get people making lots of money on that spike and selling, and then people losing because they bought the highs, selling, and the share price comes down. That is your research time, and then wait for a down day. And this is good for several reasons. Like I said, number one, it makes you research more. Number two, people are selling. They want to sell you the stock. You will get a better price. It's a buyer's market when people are selling, and when people are buying, that you can charge more for the share price. It's like supply and demand. It's the old thing of supply and demand. The oldest economics in the world. And when there's lack of supply, they're charging you more. When there's good supply, you can get a cheaper, better price. So buy on a down day. And thirdly, in microcap stocks as well, with little or no volume, if it's showing a down day, a red day, by buying, you support the price a little bit there. So buy on a down day. It's counterintuitive. It's hard to do. Try it. If you've researched a company, wait until you see a down day, then make the investment. Strategy number 3, charts. Always look at a chart. I'm going to be doing a more in-depth lesson on charts later, but this is a simplified version there. Always look at a chart. I always look at a chart before buying and selling, and in between as well, but always before buying and selling the stock. Why? You can tell a lot from a chart. Buying low, selling high is very hard because it's all relative. Low to what? High to what? When you get a chart, you can see where the share price is now in the context of a greater sort of time frame. Now, when you get a chart up, look at a 12-month chart. So you've got 12 months worth of data there, a year. And so you can see the bottom of this scale, at the bottom here, September. Now, this is what not to buy. Yeah, this is a very strong chart. It's rallied strongly over the last year. Look at it. It's done. This is Airtech. I missed out on this company, by the way. I was seconds away from pressing the buy button, way down here at 30 pence, I think. Around 30 pence, and I didn't bother, and I regretted it. But the time to buy is when it's down here, bottom left or bottom right. The time not to buy is when it's top right. If you're looking at a yearly chart and the share price is towards the top right of the screen and it's done several multiples of where it was, like I said, it was down at 20% a year ago, 20 pence. Now it's closer to 80 pence. That's 4 times. It's money. If it's like that, and also if you look at the relative strength index, RSI, this is called relative strength index. This is how strong a stock's performance is, basically. If this is up above 50, heading towards 70, then it's called overbought. Over 70 is overbought. If it's below 30, it's called oversold. If it's going above 50, heading towards that 70 level, stay back, step back, let it cool off. But this stock has done it running anyway. Listen, the bad news is you've missed out on the stock probably. It's done several multiples of its value, all right? The good news is there's plenty of opportunities out there. Don't chase share prices. It's a difference between losing money and making money, okay? So this is not what you're looking for. You don't want a stock like that, top right of the screen on a yearly chart. It's done several multiples. And the relative strength index is very high. It's topping out. Look at it here. Look at the big moves it made when this RSI was above 70. And here again, it topped out here. So if you're buying up here because you have fear of missing out, you're going to get burned. You know, it's going to come back down. So ignore charts like that. This is another one worth looking at. This almost, you're looking for the opposite of this, the metrics here, and the opposite sort of setup to this. This is another company. Look at that. Now it's bottom right. That's what you're after. Bottom right. Bottom right of the chart there, and relative strength index almost oversold, but coming back into normal territory. All right. So that's what you're looking for. You haven't missed out on that stock. Okay, it's yet to make its rise as long as the company, do something that's going to generate value. But that's what you're looking for. Bottom right, not top right on a yearly chart. Relative strength, not, overbought, but towards oversold more. Okay, so those are the three strategies I use for getting a good price, which is all important. It's difference between making money and losing money, of course. Hope you enjoyed the video. By all means, comment and like if you can, and share it with anyone. If you know people who you think would be into stocks and shares investing or things into this, then please share it. The bigger audience to get, the better, and the more likely I am to do more of them, which I do enjoy doing them. But please like, share, comment if you would, and all importantly, please subscribe, because that way it'll get straight to your inbox whenever I release a video, and you won't miss one of these lessons. And of course, viewing will be quite good if you subscribe as well. It'd be nice. I'll thank you for that. By the way, the easy way to subscribe is look at my face on the screen right now, and you'll see it. Do you see it? Yes. Click on it, and you can subscribe there. And also, the next videos come up very soon. Thank you very much.